Hey, hey there, everybody. We are starting our game. It's Syndergaard versus Arrieta, the Mets versus the Cubs. We are replaying the 2016 season. We are up to game number 93, so we're going to get started right away. We rolled 4-6. That's going to be off Arrieta's card, and that's a walk to Reyes. So Reyes, speedster for the Mets. He's on first. And Arrieta's going to throw over a couple of times, keep him close. And there he goes. And he's safe at second with a stolen base. So Granderson 237 with 30 home runs in 2016. It's a 6-5. A 6-5 is going to be a strikeout. Granderson goes down on strikes. Cespedes is up next. That's a 211. That's a line drive base hit single. Going to try to score Reyes. And he's safe at home. RBI single for Cespedes. The Mets are up 1-0. James Loney next. Cespedes on at first, a 4-8. And it's going to be a line out to the second baseman, L4, 2 away. Next is going to be Walker. Neil Walker. That's a 6-6. That's a fly ball lifted to right field. Right fielder is Zobrist. Squeezes it for out number 3. The Mets pick up 1 run on a hit and a walk, and they lead it 1-0. The Cubs are coming to bat. It's going to be Tommy La Stella leading off against Noah Syndergaard. Noah Syndergaard was 14-9 with a 2.60 ERA in 2016. 4-11, and that's a fly ball left field X. Our left fielder's a 3. That's an 18. And that's going to be 3-18. We're going to have to roll again. So 1. So it's going to be a ball that Cespedes runs down 1 away. So Tommy La Stella flies out to Cespedes, and it's Chris Bryant, 6-6. It's a line drive base hit, center field for Bryant. He's on at first. And it's Rizzo, 1-9. That's ball 4. First and second now. It's a 6-8. It's a strikeout. Out number 2. It's Wilson Contreras, about a 282 with 12 home runs. It's a 211. It's a hard hit ground ball. And Reyes steps on third for the force and the third out. We go to the top of the second, and it's 1-0 Mets. It's going to be Cabrera, 2-6, and that's a walk, ball 4. So Cabrera's on at first. It's going to be Michael Conforto. We haven't seen him in months. He is back in the lineup, so that's exciting. We need to roll a lot of 1s on his column, column 1 on his card, because that's where he has all of the action. 5-4, that's going to be off Arrieta's card. 5-4, it's going to be a catcher's card X. It's a 14. The catcher Montero's a 4. 4-14. It's going to be a pass ball. So Cabrera's to second. Conforto's going to get another crack at it. 4-7. That's ball 4. So Arrieta walks Cabrera and then Conforto. And up is Rene Rivera. It's a 1-12. It's a ground ball hit sharply right at the shortstop, who flips to second, back to first. 6-4-3 double play. to the third is Cabrera. 2 out. And it's Noah Syndergaard. One five. And that ball is swung on and hit deep to center field. Back goes the center fielder Hayward back to the track, looks up, and that's gone. A 2-run home run for Noah Syndergaard against Jake Arrieta. It's hard to believe. Okay. Mets lead at 3-0. There's 2 outs, and it's Jose Reyes stepping in the box. Jake Arrieta looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And we go to the bottom of the second. The Mets pick up 2 runs on 2 walks and the home run by Noah Syndergaard. They lead it 3-0. In the bottom of the second, it's going to be Hayward, Russell, and Montero. Jason Hayward, 4-3. That's going to be ground ball, first baseman X. 4. First baseman is a 3, and that's a ball that gets through the right side for a single for Hayward. So Hayward is on at first. Next is going to be Addison Russell. It's a 5-8. It's a strikeout. 1 away. Next is Miguel Montero. Miguel Montero batted .216 with 8 home runs. 6-11. It's a ground ball pitcher, X. Our pitcher is a 4, and that's going to be a 9. And that's going to be an out, so to second goes Hayward. Oh, wait a second. So Syndergaard, out with no runners on base, -4. If no runners are forced, so Syndergaard is going to go to second base and force out Hayward. So fielder's choice for Montero, who makes it to first, and Arrieta now. 2 out. Arrieta is batting. Montero's on at first. Here's a pitch from Syndergaard, and it's going to be a 4-9. 4-9. That's going to be a split die single. No, line out to the third baseman. Nice catch by Reyes at third for the third out. That retires the side. And we go to the top of the third, 3-0 Mets. It's going to be Granderson leading it off against Jake Arrieta. It's a 6-6. It's a fly ball lifted to right. Out there is Zobrist. 1 away. Cespedes up next. Cespedes singled and drove in a run. 4-8. And that's going to be a 1-2 is a single, and that's a line out to the second baseman, La Stella. L4. Next is James Loney. That's a 1-6, and that's a ground ball right at Russell over to first, out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the third. We're playing Strat Basic. We are replaying the 2016 New York Mets season. And it's going to be the top of the order, La Stella, Bryant, and Rizzo against Thor, Noah Syndergaard. Syndergaard was 14-9 with a 2.60 ERA. Say 4-9. This It's off Syndergaard's card, and that's going to be a split 1-13 single, and it's a line drive base hit for La Stella. So La Stella on at first. In the bottom of the third, it's 3-0 Mets. It's a 4-10. It's a fly ball lifted to center. And that's Conforto. One away. It's going to be Anthony Rizzo. .36 off Rizzo's card, and that's a swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes. 2 out now. And next is Ben Zobrist. Zobrist batted .272 with 18 home runs. And it's 5-6. And that's going to be a split die. Line drive base hit single. Over to third is La Stella. Got runners on the corners. 2 outs. Bottom of the third. It's Wilson Contreras. Here's the pitch from Syndergaard. It's a 3-7. And that's line base hit. Into score is La Stella. It's 3-1 now. And they're going to send Zobrist to third. And he's out at third. So it's an RBI single for Contreras. And Zobrist is thrown out at third for the third out. So we go to the top of the fourth. It's 3-1 now, Mets. The Cubs pick up 1 run on 3 singles. It's going to be Neil Walker leading it off for the Mets against Jake Arrieta. Now, Jake Arrieta was 18-8 with a 3.10 ERA in 31 starts. I mean, that's as good as it gets in this modern age of starting pitchers. 4-7, and that's a walk, ball 4. So that's the 4th walk of the game by Jake Arrieta. As Dribble Cabrera, it's a 5-9, and that's going to be a split die, 1-6 home run, and it's a 9. So it's a deep fly ball to deep left field, and it's going to be caught by Contreras. Next is Michael Conforto, who's back after 40 games at least. I haven't seen him in a month and a half at least in the lineup. So he's back in the lineup, which is a good sign. 6-7. It's a hard hit ground ball right at the second baseman, La Stella. La Stella's a 4, and we rolled a 6. It's a 4, we rolled a 6, and that's going to be through for a base hit. And to second goes Walker. So you have first and second now, and Rene Rivera, the catcher, here in the top of the fourth. The Mets lead it by a score of 3-1. Rene Rivera batted .222 with 6 home runs. Here's the pitch from Arrieta. It's a 6-12, and that's a ground ball hit to La Stella, who throws out Rivera. Both runners move up, second and third now. That's the second out of the inning, and it's going to be Noah Syndergaard. Runners on second and third. Noah Syndergaard batting here in the top of the fourth. And it's a 5-5. That's a swing and a miss, strike 3. That retires the side. And the Mets leave 2 on a hit and a walk. Fail to score, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 3-1 Mets. Now, in the bottom of the fourth, it's going to be Haywood, Russell, and Montero. Here's the pitch from Syndergaard. It's a 5-6. A 5-6 is going to be a split die, and that's line base hit for Haywood. He's 2 for 2. Next is going to be Addison Russell. Addison Russell hit 21 home runs and drove in 95 runs. 5-7 now. That's a hard hit ground ball right at Cabrera. It's an 18. He's a 2. And that's going to be a ball that's handled, and he flips to second, back to first, and that's a 6-4-3 double play for Cabrera. 2 outs now, and it's Miguel Montero, the catcher. And it's a 2-7. That's a walk, ball 4 for Montero, and now it's Jake Arrieta. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 3-1 score. It's Thor against Jake Arrieta. So it's 6-3, and that's a strikeout. That's 1, 2, 3, the 4th strikeout for Thor in this game. We go to the top of the 5th now, 3-1 Mets. In the top of the 5th is going to be the top of the order for the Mets. It's going to be Jose Reyes against Jake Arrieta. And it's a 5-6, and that's a ground ball shortstop. Shortstop is a 1. It's a 17, and that's a ball that is fielded easily by Russell and throws out Reyes by a step. He can motor down that line, even at age 33. Here's Curtis Granderson with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. And it's a 4-7, 4-7, and that's ball 4. That's the 5th walk allowed by Jake Arrieta. Granderson is on at first, and it's going to be Yoenis Cespedes. You don't want to roll a, well, at least Arrieta doesn't want to roll a 2 on the 2 column for Cespedes because it's almost an automatic hit, and 4, 5, and 6 are going to be home runs. That's a 3-11. That's a ground ball right back at Arrieta, who turns and throws to Russell back to first. 1, 6, 3, double play, and that's the end of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th now. It's 3-1 Mets. Thor is going to face the top of the order, La Stella, and that's 6-9, and that's a strikeout. That's strikeout number 5. 1 down. Next is Chris Bryant. Here's the pitch to Bryant, 6-10. That's a fly ball, center field, X. Conforto's a 3, that's an 11. And that's going to drop in there. And around first goes Bryant, and he's going to go into second. He's safe, throw not in time. So Bryant doubles on a ball that Conforto should have reached under normal circumstances, but he is coming back from an injury. And you know what? Let me double check. I thought he was a 3. He's actually a 4 in center. But we rolled a 1. We rolled an 11, I believe. Yeah. So Bryant is on at second base. There's 1 out. And it's going to be Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo, here we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 3-1 Met lead. It's Noah Syndergaard, and it's a 4-2, and that's a ground ball to second base, and Walker hustles in for it and throws out Rizzo. Over to third goes Bryant. So Zobrist up next. And that's going to be a 6-11, and that's a ground ball back to Thor. And a 20. Thor is not a very good fielder. He's a 4 as a pitcher. A 20 is going to be a ball that Thor picks up easily and throws over the head of the first baseman. Bryant scores, and Zobrist is going to get all the way to second base on the error by Thor. And it's 3-2 now. Zobrist is on at second. It's going to be Wilson Contreras. And that's a 3-6. And that's going to be a split die. And that's line base hit, and around to score comes Zobrist. RBI single for Contreras. His second RBI single of the day. He's 2 for 3. And next is Jason Hayward, who's 2 for 2. Game is tied now at 3. That error turned out to be costly for the Mets. And that's a 2-4, and that's ball 4. Hayward walks. First and second, 2 away. Bottom of the 5th, 3-3 the score. and it's Addison Russell. There's action in the Mets bullpen now. Can't really make out who's warming up in there. But there is action. Here's Addison Russell. It's going to be a 4-8. A 4-8 is a swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes for the third out. But the Cubs pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, a walk, and an error, and they tie up the ball game. Here in the bottom of the 5th, we go to the top of the 6th now. All tied at 3. It's going to be James Loney. James Loney against Jake Arrieta. It's a 1-3, and that's a ground ball right at the second baseman, LaStella. Takes his time, 1 away. James Loney doesn't run very well. Next is Neil Walker. Walker is 0 for 1 with a walk. It's a 1-8, and that's lined base hit center field for Walker. Next is Asdrubal Cabrera. Here's the pitch to Cabrera, and that's a 1-3, and that's a hard hit ground ball to LaStella, who flips over to Russell, back to Rizzo, 4-6-3, double play, and the Cubs are out of the inning. Go to the bottom of the 6th now. It's all tied at 3. In the bottom of the 5th, it's going to be Montero, Arrieta, and then LaStella. 3-11. 3-11 is going to be a pop-up to the right side. And it's Loney who waits for it. 1 away. Arrieta's next. And let's see. Fly ball lifted to left field. I'm sorry, it's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. Syndergaard, a 12. He's a 4. And that's a ball that he'll handle this time. Throws out Arrieta. 2 away. That's going to be the top of the order, LaStella now. With 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the score tied at 3. Tommy LaStella, who batted .270 with 2 home runs. It's a 6-7, and that's a fly ball lifted to right field. Back goes Granderson back to the track and makes a nice running catch for out number 3. We go to the top of the 7th. It's going to be Conforto, Rivera, and Syndergaard. Conforto batted .220 with 12 home runs in limited time, 304 at bats. So a full season would have seen him hit 24 home runs. That's a 5-8. 5-8 is a strikeout. So Conforto goes down swinging. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, the 4th strikeout for Arrieta. And next is Rene Rivera. That's a 4-10. That's a ground ball third baseman. And that's a 9. Third baseman is a 3, I believe. Third baseman is a 3, and that's a 9. And that's a ball that Bryant gets to. Throws on the run and gets Rivera. 2 out. And next is going to be Noah Syndergaard. And we may pull Noah Syndergaard. He's gone 6 innings. But you know what? We're going to let him roll. I think in the last game I used 12 pitchers total for both teams. So I'm going to take a little break in this game. And that's going to be a 6-4. And that's going to be a fly ball lifted to left. Over there's Contreras for the 3rd out. And after 6.5, it's 3-3. You go to the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be Bryant, Rizzo, and Contreras. You're watching tuning into Midnight Baseball here, Tabletop Combat Painter Baseball. Playing basic Stratomatic. We're replaying the 2016 season for the Mets. We're at game 93. I plan to finish this year, fingers crossed. And here in the bottom of the 7th inning, it's going to be Bryant, Rizzo, and Zobrist. So Noah Syndergaard has his work cut out for him. Still throwing over 100 miles an hour. Let's say 1-8. A 1-8 is going to be a split die, double single, and that's line into the gap. And Brian is going to make it to second with his second double of the game. He's 3 for 4 now. So Brian is in the zone, if you will. Anthony Rizzo, 6-4, and that's a ground ball to the third baseman. Our third baseman is a 2. That's not going to cut it. That ball is through for a base hit, and to third is going to go Bryant. So you got first and third now, nobody out, and it's Ben Zobrist. Looks like the Mets are quickly warming up in the bullpen. They got Blevins on one side, and they got Robles on the other. See what happens here. Infield's going to have to come in. It's a 3-3 game. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Ben Zobrist with the infield in. Here's the pitch from Syndergaard. It's a 4-7. It's a ground ball hit at the second baseman. Our second baseman's a 3. That's an 8. And it's going to be... Now we have to look at the infield in chart. Ground ball resulting in hit or an error is whatever it is. Ground balls other than that. So runner on third holds, other runners advance. So it's a ground ball that is handled by Walker. Throws out Zobrist for the first out. Over to second goes Rizzo. So second and third now. It's Wilson Contreras, who's 2 for 3. And here's the pitch from Syndergaard. That's going to be a 2-7. A 2-7 is a fly ball left field, and that's going to be deep enough to get Brian in. Brian scores. Second out. Rizzo's at second. 2 away. 4-3 now. Cubs lead it. And it's Hayward. Keep on calling him Hayward. I actually wrote Hayward on the on the score sheet. All right, Hayward. And here's the, you know what? We're going to, Hayward is what? Hayward is a lefty. So we're going to bring in Blevins. Joey Blevins is going to come in. I know since we're playing basic, it makes no difference, but just kind of to play along with the way things would be more or less. So Jerry Blevins, the lefty, is going to face Hayward. And we're not bringing in a pinch hitter. Doesn't matter anyway. So Jerry Blevins and Syndergaard is going to go 6 2/3. 6.2 gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits. So he got beat up pretty well. And walks 1, 2, 3. 3 walks. Strikeouts, he struck out 6 and gave up no home runs. And we're going to see how many runs he gives up here. So far he's given up 4. One of which is, well, those 2 runs were unearned. He's only given really 1 earned run today. So there's potential here for, actually no, 2 earned runs. But there's runners on, runner on second, so there's a potential to give up another run here. Let's see what happens. Here's Blevins to Hayward. And that's a 1-7, and that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the third out. That retires the side, but the Cubs pick up 1 run on 2 hits, and they lead it by a score of 4-3 now. We go to the top of the 8th. It's going to be the top of the order for the Mets. It's going to be Reyes leading off. Reyes is 0 for 2. He walked and stole a base in the first inning. It's a 3-8, and that's a split die, and that's lined and caught by the third baseman, Bryant. Just missed a hit there. Granderson next. Granderson has good power. Hit 30 home runs with a .237 average. and that's a 3-11, and that's a pop-up infield, right side. Second baseman LaStella waits for it, out number 2. And next is Yoenis Cespedes. Yoenis Cespedes is a horse. He's got tremendous column number 2. Let's see where we roll. And that's going to be a 6, so that's going to be off of Arrieta's card, a 6-6. It's a fly ball hit deep to right field. Running back is the right fielder, Zobrist, and makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's going to be Russell, Montero, and Arrieta. And we're going to see a new pitcher for the Mets. We're going to see Addison Reed. Addison Reed is going to face Russell, Montero, and Arrieta. Here's the pitch to Russell. It's a 4-10, and that's a swing and a miss. Russell goes down on strikes, 1 away. Next is Montero, and that's a 4-3, and that's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, who is a 2. That's an 8. And that's a ball that is fielded easily by Cabrera and throws out Montero for out number 2. And next is going to be Jake Arrieta. Joe Madden is going to let him bat. It's going to be a 2-7. That's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. That retires the sides. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 9th. Last licks for the Mets. See if the Mets can muster enough offense to pick up a run to tie it at least 2 runs to go ahead. It's going to be Loney, Walker, and Cabrera against Jake Arrieta, who's going for the complete game. Jake Arrieta has only given up 1, 2, 3, 4 hits in this game. He has walked 5. Here's the pitch to Loney. We're going to have Loney, Walker, and Cabrera here in the top of the 9th. It's a 4-3 lead, Cub lead. And it's a 2-6, and that's lined, caught by the second baseman, LaStella, out number 1. Next is Neil Walker, who had good power numbers, 23 home runs and 400 at-bats with a 282 average. Here's the pitch from Arrieta. It's going to be a 3-11, and that's grounded sharply at LaStella. Feels it and throws out Walker. Finally, with 2 outs, it's Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera is 0 for 2 today. He walked and scored a run in the in the second inning. He flied out and hit into a double play after that. Cabrera hit 23 home runs with a 280 average, so he's got some power, but it's not off his card. It's off Arrieta's card. It's a 5-9, and that's a home run number in a roll of 1-6 on the 20-sided die. So a home run here, 1-6, ties up the ball game. So that's swung on and hit 5-9. That's swung on, and Asdrubal goes the other way. Oh, and that's going to be caught at the warning track by the left fielder, Contreras, for out number 3. And the Mets were close to tying the ball game there, but just wasn't enough. So game over, and the Mets lose it by a score of 4-3. Their record drops to 52-41 after 93 games. And the loss is going to go to Syndergaard, who gave up 4 runs, only 2 of which were earned. Blevins came in, got a strikeout, and then Reed came in and went an inning with 2 strikeouts. So the relief pitchers did their job, but the Met offense kind of fizzed out early. After the second inning, the Mets really never had anything any threats to score any runs. Anyway, so that's it for tonight. I may play another one in a little while. I think the Mets have one more game against Chicago. They do. They have one more game against Chicago. And then they go, where do they go? I think they go to Miami. I'm not sure. I got to look. So 94 is probably going to come up in a little while. It's about 1 o'clock now, I think. Something in that order, 12:40. We'll see how long I stay up. Depends if I can get a hold of the TV and watch a show. All right, then. Take care. Have a good night. And I'll see everybody very, very soon.